I'm the Vice President of Education with Indspire, so as that, I oversee all education programming, bursaries and scholarships, K-12 programming involved in the organization. And there are a number of initiatives that we have or we're fostering to try to create. Teacher education and support is a big piece. So we have a peer support mentorship program for educators across the country, which mentors educators with educators and matches up depending on what the need is that they identify. It's different everywhere because it's a pretty big country, right? So where there's local teachers at the urban setting, where there's resources for professional development, I'm seeing local teachers attending those, reaching out to try to learn that stuff. So I know that Indigenous and non-Indigenous teachers are seeing math in general as the gap. And we know that literacy levels are increasing, particularly through IT learning, but math levels are decreasing and they're continuing to get quite low, particularly in the Indigenous community. When you start looking at rural and remote communities, the knowledge and the professional development is so much less that you'll have beautiful teachers doing their very best, but the outcomes, I mean, it's against all odds, right? There are amazing initiatives, despite all, that are happening. I mentioned in my speech earlier, Verna Kirkness has got a program to really invest in Indigenous kids from rural and remote and have them targeted with interest, have them target for and build the momentum towards higher level learning. Lots of the teachers from the local communities that are engaged with those students are also sort of connected to programs like that. I think it's often through kids that teachers elevate to a bar that's reachable. In our community, we still have a fairly difficult, family history or memory of education. So our families often didn't have a wonderful experience. So engaging and re-engaging is really difficult at times. One of the ways to conquer that is, of course, having Indigenous teachers at the front of classrooms. Not only does that sort of take the cultural barrier out, but it helps for greater relationship building, particularly with families. And we know that family integration and involvement is the key factor to student success. I'm always hopeful that both the pragmatic and the theoretical leave with people. The theoretical, there's the deep thinkers of our time, the Rostand Sauls, the Vanniers, the Stephen Lewis, right? That applies to all levels of education, all levels of acknowledgement and self-awareness, and math is just one level of that. So on a theoretical level, I really hope that people leave with a wow, eureka, never even thought of it that way mind shift moment. And on the pragmatic level, I really hope that they leave with something that they want to try tomorrow that is going to spirit change at their local classroom. I think both are important.